Hello everybody, and welcome to a virtual summer reading story time. Our theme this summer is Tales and Tales, so we'll be spending time this summer reading books about animals. This week, we're reading about ocean animals. The ocean holds a wide variety of animals, some that we haven't even seen yet. Oceans are some of the most diverse places in the world. You can find all sorts of animals like turtles, sharks, whales, or even oysters. Today we're going to be reading books about two different kinds of animals that live in the ocean. The first one is a book called Wild Orca by Brenda Peterson and illustrated by Wendell Minor. This book is about a family that gets to go see wild orcas right where they live. Wild Orca, the oldest, wisest whale in the world. Written by Brenda Peterson and painted by Wendell Minor. On the longest day of summer light, Mia waits for Granny to join them for Orca Sing. Here in the misty and magical San Juan Islands, people come together to sing to the orcas. Will Granny and her family come again this year? Mia asks her mother. Granny might visit us, Mia's mother smiles, if she's not too busy. Granny is busy just being 105 years old. Granny is a great-great-grandmother. She watches over her three families that scientists call J, K, and L pods. Granny was born in 1911, researchers believe, before an iceberg sank the Titanic, before our two world wars. She swam the chilly Salish Sea soon after the Wright brothers flew their first airplane, and when Model T cars first hit the road. Before computers in the World Wide Web, there was Granny. Orcas can chat and call on their own whale web. Orcas use sonar to talk to each other. No one in Granny's family gets lost, thanks to her sound maps and long memory. Mia has memorized the calls of many of the orcas in Granny's family pods. Slick, Oreo, and Spock, Wave Walker, and Surprise. Her father hands Mia her headphones. Listen carefully. People sing brightly. Drums echo like soft heartbeats. Thrum, 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 thrum. With her binoculars, Mia anxiously scans for bright blows of orca breath. Mia is scared thinking about the threats these endangered orcas face. Pollution, plastics, underwater sonar tests that can kill whales or make them go deaf. Sometimes orcas starve when salmon can't swim over big dams to find ocean or home streams. Do you think the babies are still okay? Mia asks her mother. Hope so, her mother says. But they both know that sometimes newborn orcas don't survive their first year. Not long ago, new orca calves were born. Front page news. Orca calves are the hope for Granny's pods. First, Granny and her family show the babies how to breathe together. Toosh, toosh. Blowholes blast out air. Rain blows. Ahoo, they breathe in. Dive deep. New calves are born travelers. Sometimes Granny swims 100 miles a day. She leads her family through risky waters, hunting from Alaska to California. On one hunt, a young female orca got trapped on shore and stranded. She cried out for Granny and her family. Ee! Ee!
Mia's father and other islanders protected the whale with wet blankets. They kept her skin cool with bucket after bucket of seawater. At last, the high tide lifted the young orca up off the rocks. She swam so fast to Granny and her family. All the orcas whistled her name. On Limekiln Point, Mia wonders, is another orca stranded? Is Granny dead? No whale whistles, just the shh of waves and clank clank of a ferry boat. Suddenly, me, me! Mia hears them calling before she sees. 6 orcas surfacing. Toosh, 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 toosh. Dark fins slice through whitecaps, heading straight toward shore. Mia recognizes Granny's whistle. She spots the white patch below Granny's dorsal fin, near a half-moon nick. Look, she shouts happily. The babies, and Granny's in the lead. Newborn calves travel safely tucked in between their aunties and Granny. It's a super pod, Mia calls. J, K, and L pods all visiting together. And there's another new baby. Near shore, family pods greet each other. Headstands and flips, wild cartwheels over waves, orcas slapping their fins. Kerplash! Rolling and bumping one another, orcas blow and breach, burp and chirp, spin and spy hop, just to peek around. Orcas sing too, their calls like tiny kittens, mew, mew, or rusty doors, creak, creak. Granny waves her huge fin at Mia. She lets out rapid-fire bleeps, a click stream. Click, 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 ultrasonic whistles. Wee, wee! Granny has been singing for more than 100 years. Mia hopes that she, like Granny, never stops singing, and that the new baby orcas will live just as long as Granny. The end. That story was called Wild Orca, the oldest, wisest whale in the world, written by Brenda Peterson and painted by Wendell Minor.
There were some really cool scenes in that book. But let's move on to a different kind of animal. How about hammerhead sharks? Hammerhead sharks are cool because they have a really weird shaped head that you can see in this picture right here. Their eyes are on the sides of their head. There's a lot to learn about hammerhead sharks in this nonfiction book by Nico Barnes.
This book is called Hammerhead Sharks by Nico Barnes. This is a nonfiction book, which means that everything inside of the book is a true fact about hammerhead sharks. Hammerhead sharks. Hammerhead sharks are named for the unusual shape of their heads. It's a very different kind of shape. Hammerhead sharks prefer to live in warm ocean water. You will often find them near coastlines. Most hammerhead sharks are greenish in color. Others are gray. They have white bellies. A hammerhead shark's eyes are set on either side of its head. Its large dorsal fins are easy to spot. These are their dorsal fins, the ones that go on top. Hunting. Hammerhead sharks are good hunters. They have sensors on their heads that help them scan for food. A hammerhead shark's flat head helps it to hunt. It can trap its prey on the ocean floor. It can trap its prey on the ocean floor. Food. The hammerhead shark's favorite meal is a stingray. It also eats fish, octopus, and other sharks. Baby hammerhead sharks. Hammerhead sharks give birth from 2 to 42 pups at a time. Hammerhead shark pups have rounder heads. Their heads will flatten as they grow. The end. That book was called Hammerhead Sharks by Nico Barnes.
Thanks everybody for listening to our books about ocean animals. If you're interested in learning more about ocean animals, here are a few books that you might like to check out from our library. You might think Ocean Waves for All was written by Stacey McAnulty and illustrated by David Litchfield, but it was actually written and illustrated by Ocean. Ocean takes us through a detailed story of how Ocean came to be, with lots of fun facts and beautiful pictures throughout. Swim, Swim, Sink by Jen Harney is a very silly story about a group of ducklings who are sinking when they should be swimming. How can we keep the baby ducklings afloat? Don't Worry, Little Crab by Chris Houghton is about two crabs, Little Crab and Very Big Crab. They're ready to take a trip to the ocean, but the ocean is huge to such a little crab. Will they go in the ocean together? Find out in this story. Thank you for listening, everybody. Next week, we're going to read more about rainforest animals, so we hope to catch you soon. Bye, friends.